Welcome back to another episode of Let's Have a Sip. I'm your host, Sean Drinks. My future is just too bright. That's why I have to wear these you know what? I don't even know what the fuck I'm trying to say. These sunglasses. I was gonna say hater blockers. There we go. Hater blockers. That's what I'm wearing. So, oh my god! And Keith is wearing them too. Oh my god. What's up, buddy?
What's up, my man? Got a hater blockers on. Keeping the sun out, even though it's raining here.
Oh, it's raining? God,
It is raining.
dude. Obviously, you and Mercedes were just here last weekend. For anyone that did not know that, because y'all don't even know who he is. Probably anyone that's watching and listening, but you're going to after this episode. But it is so fucking hot in Dallas. I sort of got every podcast that I start. I'm like, hey, how you doing? And they're like, oh, I'm good. How are you? I'm like, it's hot as fuck in Dallas, because you know what? It's hot as fuck here in Texas. So,
so to be in Florida, I thought the same thing whenever it comes to the weather of it being really hot. But then I got to Texas that last week, and that's not a joke. I will never say another bad thing about Texas weather ever again. 104, 105 all weekend long. That's insane.
yeah,
No.
it was so trash. And so I was working yesterday, and I was, just kind of chilling in the office and stuff like that. And I happened to look at the weather, and I was like, I hope none of my employees are gonna fall out and die of me today, because we're forced them to go work out in fucking hell because Karen wanted to order her goddamn lip gloss from Amazon.
Karen just needed a lip gloss.
Yeah.
Can't
But no, man.
believe it.
Hey, I meant to tell you while I was on the phone with you earlier is I wanted to. I didn't get a chance to thank y'all about getting me these glasses and the decanter. So this little cool decanter. Oh
You did
man,
receive those. All right.
yeah, we got it a day. It's kind of hard to see, but exactly what the engraving is on there. But it's very cool, little shape. I
It
meant
looks
to.
really good.
Yeah, I meant to let you know. I think Courtney had mentioned it to y'all. She had shot y'all a text, maybe. But thank you. I appreciate that. That's really cool. So
Yeah, man. You are very welcome. It just seemed very fitting as to kind of what's going on. So I was like, dude, that looks perfect for you guys.
yeah.
I'm glad that's the first time I've been able to actually see it. So I'm glad it actually turned out to look good.
Yeah, it's cool. And this is actually, I wanted to wait, but this is the first pour of whiskey that I have in this glass. I came with two glasses, but this is the first pour, and I am drinking.
So what are you sipping on?
I am drinking. You had this while you were here. The High West Boo
It's
Rye.
the High West. Yes, sir.
Oh my God! Look at that.
West.
Woo!
Looks good. And I'll even show you what I've got going on. The good old Whistle Pig.
Okay.
Got that pulled out. You know what's funny is I thought there was only just a little bit left, but ended up being a full full glass here.
Oh, do you have one of those? Is that one of those like metal-ish?
So yeah, it's a little metal bowl. It's like just a metal ice cube. That's what it is. And it's still worth it. Tell you what, cheers to you, buddy.
Cheers. Clink.
Yep. Yeah, that's good.
I was actually planning on going to the gym today, but that's not happening considering I've been drinking. So, oops.
Yeah, so, I don't think it's a good idea to go work out after you've had a sip or two.
You know what's funny? You're absolutely right. You know what's funny is so a buddy of mine, you know who he is, but just for everyone watching and listening, Justin Philippone, one of my good friends.
Yeah, Justin.
Back when we were in college, I decided to both me and him decided to get hammered, and this was Halloween day. Get hammered and go to the gym to try to get a pump and look really swole before we went to our party, because we had that classic little picture that we show everybody about, like me, him, and Booby. So Tyler Gibson.
Yeah.
Like I was dressed up as a sexy farmer, and
I think I remember this picture.
Yeah, but no, that with
Remember
all that
seeing
being said, that's a very terrible idea to go drink um
that's
and go
so
work
horrible,
out. So
so
I felt
horrible
I felt like
experience.
shit afterwards. I was like, this is a terrible idea. But also a
I,
lot of the things that I did in college were stupid as fuck anyways. So,
I
why not
mean,
add to the list?
yeah, I mean, you feel like you get a good pump out of it, but then you start about 5 minutes in, you're like, this is stupid. You're like, I'm done. I'm,
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
walking out and going to have another one.
Yeah. So I was I was talking about how I wish I was talking to Courtney, my fiance, for everyone that doesn't know who that is. About how Mercedes, Steven, and Megan were here this past weekend, just kind of hanging out. And I was like, one of the most exciting things was like whenever you and I were staying up watching those old high school basketball videos, dude. I don't know what it was, but I was so happy to find that shit, and it was just so nostalgic to see those games, and it was so cool.
Was it? It was Sports Vision, right?
Yeah,
Is that what
sports
it is?
vision. Yep.
Man, that's old school, and I mean, it is really cool to be able to see that, like the videos, basically the nostalgia of it. Um, I mean, it's amazing that somebody, whoever did it, thank you for whoever did it, because you know, that was the year of 2006, 2007. So YouTube was just taking off, I believe, in 2006. So it wasn't very popular, and all the social media stuff was not around. And it's uh, when it comes to that, it's more so getting to look back at those videos and seeing those. And I thought that was really cool that you were able to find that, and we got to watch them together and see each other play. That's what's really neat about it. We were seeing each other play, but at the time didn't even know who each other were. Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, that is pretty crazy because like I always knew who you were in high school, and all the other players at Bradley and stuff like that. So Bradley County High School, which is in Cleveland, Tennessee. That was because like whenever I first came to Cleveland high school, I was brand new. I was a sophomore.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know fucking anybody because let me rewind a little bit. Grew up in New Orleans. Hurricane Katrina happened, and then got dislocated to Tennessee. There's a whole reason why that happened the way it did, and why we came to Tennessee, but that's a whole nother story. But went to Meigs County High School, fucking bumfuck
That's right.
USA,
That's right.
bumfuck USA in Tennessee, and I'm
Uh,
like, that was culture shock, man. Like I went there, and I was like, where
chickens running around, right?
yeah, dude, what like it's normal now, like for me, but like back then, whenever I first came, I was like, well, dude, what the fuck? Because like back then, Decatur, the city that Mexican High School's
Yes.
in, had literally one stoplight, and I was like, what the fuck is this bullshit? Because like growing up in New Orleans, like you're in the city, like there's totally different dynamic. But because that was the first time that I went to a public school since elementary school because like my mom and my dad were always like very like wanting me to go to like private schools because just like that general area in um New Orleans and Jefferson Parish, Orleans Parish, because in Louisiana you don't have counties, you have parishes. They were wanting me to go
Oh,
to
okay.
better schools because like the public school system in Louisiana is like, I mean, it's shit, to be honest. So they were always wanting the best for me, but like when we went to Tennessee, like I just went to a public school, and I mean, it was a good school. Well, Meg's wasn't, but Cleveland was. So, um, but yeah, so got there, got to 10th grade to Cleveland, and I remember playing, and I was fucking awful. I was so bad. But like I enjoyed the process of like going there and trying to get better and stuff like that. Cause like the people I played with were fucking phenomenal. Cause like so my sophomore year was whenever Drazen Slavrik came into
Yeah.
the Cleveland high school basketball system, and he's a little bit taller than I am. I'm 6'8". I think he's probably like 6'9", 6'10", but like
Hmm.
very very athletic guy. Can shoot, can do whatever. And back then, that was like he was like the man back at the school. So our our fucking team was phenomenal, man. You had Drazen, like I was just talking about, Ish Sanders, who's actually still playing professionally. I think he plays in Australia,
That's
and
right.
just that whole team, and like going to the Cleveland Bradley High School games, man. Like I like like talking about nostalgia and stuff like that, and just reminiscing about the old days. But like, dude, Cleveland Bradley games were fucking dope. That shit was
Dude,
so cool.
they were tons of fun. Not only like as a player, but even after playing days, high school careers ended, going back to those games, man, it's still the same atmosphere. It was so much fun just to be a part of, not as like as a player, not as a team, but even as a community, man. It's so cool to bring each other together, and it's cool because we're considered a huge rival within the nation. Bradley, Cleveland. But what's really cool is typically a lot of rivals are they hate each other. They have like hate toward each other throughout the season, throughout the year, and you hear a lot of negativity coming from it. But with Bradley Cleveland, you are friends with each other. So like even if during game week or the prep rally week, you're still communicating with like your friends across the border over there. But what were we? We're like 4 miles away from each other. But
Yeah,
yeah, I think so. So I always thought that was really cool. Was there was no hate. It was all love throughout the community. And but at the end of the day, you got to play in these games and see it. And it's to this day, it's still one of the biggest rivals. I love it.
was it all love, Keith? Because you know what, I fucking hated you guys. No, I'm kidding.
All right, as a player, yeah, it was during game like the week as a player. Yes, it was.
Oh,
It was more so like we're gonna destroy them,
oh
take
yeah.
it to them, don't let off the neck. Like, but afterwards, we're gonna catch up, hang out, and do what we do the rest of the year. It's just during that week is always the the we can't stand you week,
Yeah,
but
pretty
still a lot
much.
of fun though.
Oh yeah, no doubt. No, and it's so back whenever I first went to Cleveland, the head coach was Aaron Green. Shout out to him. He was
Hmm.
former University of Tennessee Knoxville volunteer basketball player. Then that I think it was the end of that year, or maybe like
It
I'm pretty.
was
I'm pretty sure it was the end
was
of my sophomore year. He transitioned over to going to be an assistant coach at the back at his alma mater.
uh-huh.
That's whenever Jason McCowan came into the Cleveland basketball system and kind of took over that and was there for like 10 plus years. And he transformed that whole, um, that whole program. And I definitely have a lot of respect for that guy. He was a very big mentor in my life at that time. And, it just, that was just such a good time in my life, and had a lot of good experiences and just being able to mold into the man that I am today. Because I mean, I still use a lot of his, a lot of his philosophies in my life today. Just kind of like, the stone cutter. Remember how that was kind of a big thing?
Don't cut a mentality. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of like you are hammering away at a stone, and you're trying to hammer away until that stone kind of splits in two. And it's not the last hammer that finally splits that stone in two. It's everything that went before that. So it's essentially just a very philosophical way of just talking about consistency. So, but
Yeah, and he actually came from Ray County.
yep, yep,
And
Rick.
I remember playing against him, and he, of course, uh, unfortunately, Ray County just was not a good team at that time during
No,
that era. They weren't, and um, so sorry for Ray County, but we ended up, I believe, beating them about 40 every time we would play them. But after one of the games, Coach McGowan actually, we're shaking hands, and he come up to me or kind of whispered in my ear. He's like, "Hey," he said, "When are we going to get you here to Ray County?" And I kind of, did a little smirk on it. I was like, "I don't think you'll ever see me here in Ray County," but I was really excited to hear him transition from Ray County to Cleveland because he really was a great guy, a great coach, and to get your perspective on him, to be a great mentor, that says a lot. So I really like the guy and just had a lot of respect for him just in general from Ray County, from what I did of him. So I didn't get to play against him at Cleveland, but I think that's a really cool setup of where he's at and I got to be a part of that.
Yeah. I was kind of sad to see that he finally kind of parted ways with the basketball program, because I don't think he actually works at Cleveland High School anymore. I think he still does work
Is he
with
still
teachers.
coaching anywhere?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure he just works with like teachers or maybe like leaders in the Bradley County area. I don't really know exactly what he does anymore. I haven't talked to him in a while. It's probably been over a year, about 2 years since the last time I talked to him. But
Yeah.
Reggie Miller, or shoot, what was that?
Tucker.
Reggie. I'm going to say Reggie Miller. Reggie Miller took over Cleveland High School basketball program, but no, Reggie Tucker took over the program, and he's a phenomenal coach, phenomenal basketball player as well. Former LSU Tiger, played there, and just a phenomenal coach, phenomenal human being, and he kind of put that program on another level than previous programs before. Not shitting on any other coach that came before him, but I think his first year they went to state and then kind of kept that consistent. And I'm pretty sure the first year that they went to state was kind of when COVID first started kind of coming
Yep.
around. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, that year nobody actually technically won the state championship, but I don't really remember exactly. That's just I don't know. My brain is weird. I can remember shit that doesn't really matter about 20 years ago, but yeah.
It's like 2 years ago. Yeah, you kind of forget things. Again, we're getting old, man. And so we're just, time's ticking for us, but it's good time. So yeah, and that's what's crazy to know is back in 2020, of course everything shut down. But I didn't know if they had the opportunity, because I knew it was right there at the edge. It was on the verge of the state tournament. It's like usually at the beginning of March. So I didn't know if they were able to actually give information of saying like, hey, this is the winner, win or lose, whoever comes out state champion. But I do remember seeing for the past, I would say, I guess for the past 2 years or a year and a half, I have seen Cleveland be in the state tournament a couple of times there, and they just put themselves on the map, and being that consistent, it's really good for them to see. Because again, I'll go back to the community of Cleveland. It's cool to see not only rivals, but to see Bradley and Cleveland go to state. Because I know the women's Bradley's girls won state. I think it was like a year ago.
Yeah, I remember that they did, and that was pretty cool to kind of see that happen in that city, because I don't know, Cleveland's I mean, I'm just gonna shit on Cleveland right now, but Cleveland's a very boring city. It is what it is, but there's just something about Cleveland that always draws you back for some reason. But
I mean, just something that's home. But I do have to give a shout out to Coach Reuter on that one, Coach Jason Reuter. Coach Reuter used to be the boys coach. He was actually my coach. He's the one that taught me a lot of stuff, just player wise, band wise, and every day I think about basketball. When I think about basketball, I think back of high school days and how I got developed. And it was from him, from Jason Reuter and Kent Smith and Chuck Clark. So those guys have been huge impacts in my life when it came to sports, but then also just how to develop as a human being, as a man, and it was developing outside of basketball. But the reason why I shout out to Coach Reuter is because they gave him a position to coach the girls, and I kid you not, I believe it was that year after that he got that job, he started producing championships or championship caliber teams.
Yeah.
And he does so well. But yeah, just community and all. I'm proud of him. Even though I'm not living in Cleveland no more, I'm in Florida, Daytona, where it's still hot, but not as hot as Texas. Still my city now. I do want to ask though, what was one of your favorite moments going? I would say in high school
So
when it's related to basketball.
So favorite moment was finally whenever your ass and fucking Terrence and everyone else fucking left. Terrence Oglesby, we finally fucking won my senior year at y'all's place because y'all had like I don't remember what the win streak was for y'all to like beat us at y'all's place, but it was fucking insane.
Being a lot.
But so my senior year, we beat Bradley Central High School. I don't remember what the score was, whatever, but like that was like the best game I had of my career in high school, and just being there, being able to shit on Bradley Central and poop on their floor and tell
Yeah,
them bye bye was nice. So not gonna pretend like I'm some like phenomenal basketball player, but like that shit was so fun. Being there and actually, battling against each other and finally fucking winning because like that was hands down probably one of the better games that I had back in high school. And we sound like old fucking men talking about the glory days right now, but you know what? That's why we got our hater blockers on for everyone watching
exactly.
this.
Wow.
So, and you know what? If you look at my hater blockers, and if you look at the screen and I get my little light where it has my camera, you can it kind of seems like I have eyes on my
Are you
sunglasses.
glowing? So
See that?
I can't really see them. I'm a blind man here, but it's all good. But that's
you,
awesome though.
you see them now?
Oh, I can see a little bit,
Does it look like I have
little bit.
eyes?
I'm gonna have to get real close. It does. Oh, that's creepy. That's creepy.
But yeah, no,
Um,
I'd say that's probably one of my most memorable moments back in high school was Cleveland Bradley High School game at Bradley, circa 2009. That was it was a little bit more personal for me because I just had such a big impact on that game. But like every Bradley Central Cleveland High School game, either at Bradley or at Cleveland, was always so fun just because of the talent on both sides. So, but for the long run, Bradley kind of had the upper hand on Cleveland. It is what it is. Y'all just had a better team, but it was so fun just to be in an atmosphere.
yeah,
So,
yeah. It is nice to sit there and think back on certain things because that truly is glory days. You're a kid. You're living your best life. You're enjoying basketball. You're just enjoying growing, just as a person. And but of course, to look back on all that stuff, I think it's awesome, and I'm glad that you're able to not only bring that like bring it all back together, but to bring up and show that the sports vision, to show all that information and to show those videos. I think it's awesome. It's cool that it's still around.
yeah, shout out to Sports Vision, which I never fucking heard of in high school until I turned 31. I'm like, oh, Sports Vision, where they have all the games from high school, which is super cool. Well, not all of them. It's just like random fucking videos that are like kind of meshed together. When you got to go through YouTube and look through all the videos and figure out, okay, is there a game that I'm in on this video that's 5 million hours long? Like,
So,
nope.
so it used to be on local television. So they had it on one of the local channels, and what they've done is I don't know who got it, but again, I'll say it again. I'm excited that they brought it back. But what they've done is just whatever the highlights and the clips that they had on the local channel, they were able to configure that and put it on to YouTube, and that's what's great. YouTube is just taken off for certain videos like that, like certain things that I'll never personally get to do again in my life. Or I don't, maybe yourself, but like you get to go back and look at those things, and it's like, man, this is cool. Like this is just a small clip of what I used to do, what I used to be able to do.
Yeah.
In a sense, just playing a game. I miss it. I'll be honest. I miss the game of basketball. I missed it to the point that I can't even watch college basketball. I couldn't even watch NBA games for about 2 years. Just after my whole stint of what happened to me, but with my eyes and stuff. But
Yeah.
it
So
is,
do you want to talk like
yeah,
you want to speak on that? Like, because like everybody watching and listening probably has no idea what you're talking about your eyes. So
it's true. Yeah, I mean that's not a problem. You know, I love speaking on it. That is something that changed my life forever. Is what's happened. But yeah, to give you the quick breakdown on it was um, in 2015, I actually had the opportunity to play semi-professional basketball, and was fortunate enough to um, get in contact with a older college teammate of mine who randomly calls me one day, and he's like, it was on a, I actually remember it was on a Friday night, and he's like, "Hey man," he's like, "Do you want to come to Atlanta and try out for a team?" And I was like, "Yeah, that sounds really cool. Sounds fun, just to jump into." And he said, "Cool." He said, "Practice is tomorrow at 12 p.m." Mind you, I hadn't worked out, hadn't played ball in probably a couple of months. Um, and I was like, you know what? I'll give it a shot. So I go and trial for this team, and I kid you not, I was gassed after the third possession. I was struggling, but all in all, what ended up happening was the coach liked what I had, however I was performing, um, and I got put on this team. So it was based out of Atlanta, um, and it was with a UBA league, is what it's called. So they did a draft. They pulled some
oh,
excellent players.
hold on. What UBA? What is that?
That's a really good question. I still to this day don't even know what it stood for.
Just
But
keep
it was
talking. Keep talking. I'm gonna look it up.
yeah, but it was a specific league for a semi-pro league, is what it was throughout the United States, and it was really cool adventure, is the way I put it, because there was actually some guys that played in this league who went to Lee University, and one of them was Freddie Williams. I don't know if you remember him or not. But shout out to Freddie if you ever see this buddy. It was really good to see him, um, but all in all, we were playing in this league, and um, one of the guys on our team was actually an agent, so he had connections overseas, and he came up to me and he said, "Hey man," he's like, "I've got a connection to either Egypt or Holland." He's like, "It's yours. You'll sign the contract in 2 weeks. Um, They'll put you on a plane, send you off, and you'll play for 9 or 10 months." And I was like, "Man, that's huge.
Yeah.
That's a blessing. This is something I've lived up to always want to do as a dream." And um, crazy enough, though, um, on June 27th of 2015 at 5:36 p.m. on a Monday afternoon was when my life changed. I went to work out at Gold's Gym, and was stretching with a band. I was having some back issues, so I was needing to stretch out the hamstrings. So as I'm stretching, I'm laying down. So to get an image of this, I'm laying down. I've got my leg in the air, and I'm pulling this band down my foot, just trying to get that full stretch in. And as I'm pulling, the band slips off my foot and hits me in both of my eyes, and immediately detaches both my retinas.
God damn.
So the most insane freak accident story to this day I've ever heard, obviously been a part of. Um, but that right there, then in that moment, just simply ended my career of basketball. And I've had 14 eye surgeries, both eyes. I've lost most of my vision in my left eye. I've got about 20% vision, and all I've got is central vision in my right eye.
And just FYI for everybody
Yeah.
that's watching, this is not a fucking joke that we're wearing sunglasses. we're not Ray Charles, but it just, you know what? Now that I think of it, it's kind of fucking ironic that we're wearing these. But I don't know. I just fucking put them on because I thought it would be funny. But anyways,
No, it's fantastic. I'm pulling Top Gun over here. But yeah, so with all that to happen, you know, life changed. Doctors told me I could no longer play the game of basketball, and I was very limited because anything I do would simply cause a detachment of the retinas. So I've been having to be very cautious of anything I do nowadays, and that's including this is crazy. That's including flying because of pressure. Which when we flew to you guys, that was one of the things that, you know, we're sitting there thinking like, is this okay? Is this okay? But everything's fine. Been taking my eye drops. Yeah, to tell all that story, that's where, you know, going from basketball, having the opportunity to play in the country I was going to go play in was actually country Holland. But of course, 2 weeks before that happened, my whole eye issues kind of came down. But the way I see it is things happen for a reason in life. Don't take things for granted, and you basically do the best you can within life and what God gives you. So you know, there's never been moments where I've been down or anything. It's always been uplifting spirits. So but I am very thankful to be able to share that story and kind of give you an insight of what actually happened and where we stand today.
yeah. So you know, I remember that. Got my phone up because I'm pulling up that information
Did you
about
find it?
the UAB, or excuse me, UBA.
Yeah.
We'll come back to, you know, the eye situation in a second, but
Yeah.
let me pull this up before I forget. So UBA is, I feel like I've gotten two different links that are telling me what it may be. So the UBA was the first men's professional basketball league in India. I don't know if that is technically what you're referring to, but so
What would be in India?
United Basketball Alliance is what I'm finding.
Yeah, that
Or
right.
Unified Basketball Alliance. That's what something else is.
Yeah.
What the other link is telling me. So, but yeah, so it's the UBA,
Okay.
Unified Basketball Alliance. That's what it is. So, but
Yeah, they did a
yeah.
whole draft and everything.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. I remember seeing pictures and stuff like that. I wasn't there, but that seemed pretty fucking cool. But
It was neat. It was different.
yeah, but no,
But
I remember whenever your fucking eye got fucked up. You said it was you. Sorry, I'm a little drunk. Both of them were uh damaged due to that fucking goddamn piece of shit from Gold's Gym.
they were, but
The
I tell you what,
TheraBand.
they look good now. They're okay.
Yeah.
Just
So,
so
but
you are.
no, I remember being in California because at the time that's where I was living. And you had called me. And I remember still
That's
to this
right.
day remember being outside of a fucking club that me and my roommates were going into, and you're like, "Hey, I don't remember exactly what you told me, but you're like, yeah, I fucked up, hit my eye," and I'm like, "The fuck?" And
Yeah, dude,
yeah.
it was crazy. I mean, you wouldn't think of that stuff, but the wild part about, you know, that situation going down was from that point forward, from after having all my surgeries and being laid up, you know, bed rest basically for multiple months, face down. There
Oh
was a
yeah. Yeah.
reason for it, because they would put eye bubbles, gas bubbles in your eye or in my eye, and what it did was to help keep your retinas in place to heal. So, but here's, you know, the bizarre story about all of it was after my situation happened, I started hearing so many situations just similar to it. So it I come to find out, I realized it was more common than I thought it was. And then one of the most crazy stories that I know of to this day is there's a UFC fighter who had his retinas detached, and the doctors were saying, you know, hey, you know, you should probably lay off, not do certain things anymore. And he literally told me, he's like, after I like heal, he's like, I'm going back in the ring. And as far as I know, I don't. He may have went back in the ring. I'm not sure. I haven't followed his story since then, but just to know the perspective of like, hey, you get back in the ring, now you're putting your eyes at a even bigger risk of losing them permanently. So, it's all about just taking care of yourself, and it's what I've learned. As the older you get, you got to take care of yourself, because I mean, our body breaks down so much easier now. Our mind's still there a little bit, but our bodies just can't catch up.
What do you mean a little bit? How old are you? 33?
I'm 33. I'm an old man.
Yeah, you act like you have fucking you act like you have fucking Alzheimer's. Like my mind's there a little bit. I
It's
don't
a little bit.
That's
how it feels.
No, but no,
yeah.
I'm fucking with you. But no, I totally kind of understand what you're talking about in regards to like your mind kind of like being a little like, shit changes as you get older, especially if you're like, if you're not taking care of yourself, the different dynamic if you are and if you aren't. So like one thing I have noticed is like it's not super, super drastic, but I'll find myself forgetting shit and I'm like, it's one of those things where like you kind of walk into a room and you're like, why the fuck did I come in here? Exactly. So,
What?
but that'll happen on occasion. I remember that happening on occasion, like kind of like when I was younger and stuff like that. But like as I've gotten older, that's like I feel like it's become more of a consistent thing. Not saying like it happens every day, but like I'll have those instances where like I just will totally forget something, and even my fiance Courtney will be like, "Hey, like, did you remember about XYZ?" And I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking
You're
about?"
like, you're like, when do we speak on that?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. And then whenever she tells me about it, I'm like, "Babe, I am so fucking sorry. I totally forgot." And she's like, "What is wrong with you?" And I'm
like, I'm in my
I,
30s.
I don't know. I just turned 31. I like you need to literally like get get me a fucking old folks home because you're not gonna be able to take care of me. So,
Consistent care living there. That's what you need.
but no, I totally understand what you're talking about in regards to like, your mind kind of, for lack of a better word, deteriorating to an extent. But like, I feel like that has a lot to do with like how you're taking care of yourself, just like you were saying, what you're eating. Are you keeping your body mobile? Are you working out? Which I've started doing a little bit more. And got back into the routine of eating healthy. And because like once you and everyone else were here this past weekend, like we were enjoying life. It is what it is. We're going out to different places. It was super fun, and that's what life is about: just enjoying you know time with loved ones and your friends and stuff like that. And I have not cheated once since y'all left. Besides
Wow.
today,
I'm proud of you.
whenever I started drinking whiskey and these happy dads, which are kind of a normal thing for me. But
Hey, the
yeah. So
good thing about whiskey is there's no carbs, no calories. You're all good.
are there no calories in whiskey? I feel like that's hard to believe. Are you sure?
I believe so. I know there's no carbs.
I don't know. I feel like there are some calories in that because I feel like I feel like I've gotten once I stopped drinking whiskey and I drank more water, maybe that kind of like I don't know. I'm gonna have to look that up. I don't know if
Yeah.
there's calories in whiskey. God damn it! All right.
No, none. Who knows? There actually might be, but it's a better choice than the alternative happy dads you got going on. Happy boys, whatever.
No. Oh, I totally agree with you because I let you try one. You were like trying to be nice about it. You're like you kind of like acted like I fucking created the product. And you're like, yeah, it's good, man, even though it tastes like shit. I was like,
It
Keith,
did.
just be
It
honest with me.
did until I kept drinking. And I was like, this tastes terrible. I was like, just give me the good stuff.
Oh, and I gave you the good stuff, man.
Oh my god. Yes. Thank you for that. I don't even think I got to tell you. Thank you so much for letting me try. Um, all literally the good stuff that you had. So you've actually shown me a lot on it, gave me a good perspective on it, and for the future, I will be loading up on some good things here.
That's funny because I was talking to Courtney earlier before I dropped her off to the airport. I was like, I think I've infected Keith with the whiskey bug. Um, Mercedes probably will not appreciate this too much because you're gonna be like, "I need to get some whiskey. All right, I need to get 500 bottles of it, stat."
Listen, it was almost the alternative. I had it was complete opposite on that. It was more so all week. I'm like, I don't in any way feel the need of having a sip of anything. Only because there was so much that I tried of your products that you had. Well, of the glasses that you had, some bottles, but
Yeah.
it literally, I was like, this could. I don't have to try anything for a good while, but I'm glad we presented this because again, this whistle pig, I'm actually finishing it off today, and it's just really
Yeah.
good stuff there.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much whiskey out there, and that's one thing I've always heard of is Whistle Pig, but I've never tried it. But I'm always open to trying different types of whiskey and stuff like that. And I just I haven't really been bourbon hunting too much here lately, just because I literally have no more room for like bottles, and I'm not gonna start you know putting bottles in our kitchen like out like on our island or on
On
the
the island,
counters.
yeah,
Yeah,
you don't
so
want to load them up on that.
no, I only loaded them up like whenever y'all came outside on the
Yeah,
island. That way we can enjoy them. But um, whiskey is just like you know and I didn't really learn this until like a couple of months until after I started like kind of like drinking whiskey and learning like what I like, what I don't like. Is there is no right and there is no wrong way to drink whiskey. It's
no,
however you like it is the right way.
yep,
And those are famous words from Freddie Johnson. Shout out to that guy. Never met him. Kind of a cool guy, it seems like. He's a Buffalo Trace employee, and I think he's like a third generation Buffalo Trace employee or some shit like that. But um, watched a documentary on Hulu called Neat, and it just kind of it's like pretty much like talking about like just whiskey in general and like a lot of different like distilleries and stuff like that. And the whole reason I opened up all of my bottles whenever y'all came is because like I don't really get the opportunity to enjoy my whiskey with people that actually appreciate whiskey.
hmm
You know what I'm saying? So um I'm still learning myself. I'm still green behind the ear. And I don't pretend like I'm some like fucking snob when it comes to all this stuff because I'm not. And I'm
yeah,
never going to be in anything in life, regardless of anybody's opinion of me. But
hmm
um, you know, I wanted to open up these bottles to enjoy it with you because, like, you, Steven, Rob's, unfortunately, he couldn't come, but, you know, I wanted to enjoy these bottles with you because I don't get the opportunity to do that often with people. Because, like, I mean, I'll open up bottles with people that'll come over, but it's like it's not the same if they don't know what the fuck they're drinking. Because, like, at the end of the day, they're like, you know what, this all tastes the same to me,
it all
which
tastes the same. Yeah,
yeah, which I get that because like if you're gonna give a bottle of like let's say Joseph Magnus, which is what we
oh,
drank,
dude,
which is what we drank one night. So
that's
Joseph
so good.
Magnus cigar blend. For those of you
Yeah,
that don't know, that's a very like right below what's considered a hazmat. So a hazmat is anything that's 140 proof or above that. So I think this is like maybe like 138 proof, whatever. Um, if you're gonna give that to somebody that's never drank whiskey before, they're gonna think like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" And all they're gonna taste is that ethanol taste. If they
yeah,
smell it, all they're gonna smell is the
hmm
ethanol. So, but like, if you're, and again, I'm green. I don't pretend to think I'm like some sommelier or something like that. But I can tell a difference whenever I drink that, and I can versus like this Elijah Craig I have over here.
oh yeah, yeah.
Two totally different dynamics. But obviously, I have a fuck ton of Elijah Craig. I don't know, 6 bottles over here, whatever that is. But um, you know that the whole reason of me like opening all that shit up was because I want to enjoy life. And I love whiskey. I love you. I love Steven. I love everybody that came over. And it was just a fun time to be able to just hang out and just shoot the shit. So it was fun, man. We need to do that shit again, man.
Dude, It was a lot of fun, and I'll admit, when it comes to any type of drinks, it doesn't even have to be an alcoholic drink. It could be a juice. um, what they're known for is the drink. So if you don't open them, then what's the point of having them?
Yeah, exactly.
So
And that reminds me is like, because some people think like I don't open all my bottles. It's not like I'm so, like I open all my bottles. Like I don't, and you'll have some people that will like collect bottles. They don't open them, whatever. That's their prerogative. But like I want to be able to open my stuff and enjoy it with other people. And I've had bottles that I've opened up that I'm like, you know what? I don't know if I really enjoy this. But then, I come back to it maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever. And I'm like, you know what? This is actually pretty good. And that actually happened whenever you were here. So I don't think I have the bottle.
I don't remember which one it was.
No, I remember exact. You know what? I got it over here. Give me 1 second. So probably going to echo a little bit. You probably can't hear me too well, but I'm going to move down the Spider-Man comic book that I have right here that everybody's watching on YouTube. If you're watching, because I have a fucking massive platform. So, it is this bottle right here. So Will It, if you can see that.
That was it.
So at first, whenever I opened this up when I first bought it, I was not too keen on it. I thought that it tasted too much like black licorice.
Mm.
And I was like, dude, this tastes like butthole. But then I came back to it. I came back to it again, maybe a week later at the time, because this was maybe like a couple of months in of me like collecting bottles, and I was like, I still don't like it. And then the next time I tried it was whenever you came over. I tried it, and that was probably like I maybe let it sit for 6 months or whatever. I tried it, and I was like, you know what, this shit is actually pretty fucking good. And you really want to give yourself maybe at least 3 to 4 tries of trying a bottle until you can really kind of get like your final opinion on it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you'll find out. It's at least after the third one. When you're still saying, "No, this is terrible," then pour it down, sell it, do something with it.
yeah, so and so that was so I had a guy that came on to the podcast maybe like I don't know 2 months ago or whatever. Garrett, shout out to Garrett Molesby, super cool guy. He owns a whiskey company based out of Dallas called Mossy Horn Whiskey.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what? I don't think we actually tried it whenever you came here, but it's the bottle. I know I'm a piece of shit, so it's the bottle that I try to give y'all because I have like 7 bottles of it.
I remember that.
So whenever I open it up, I never met. Whenever I first bought the bottle, never met the guy that owns the company. I tried it and I was like, you know what? I'm not really feeling this too much. So I kind of just let it sit for a while, and I came back to it again. And I was like, meh, you know what? It's not really my jam. Came back to it again. And I was like, you know what? This is actually pretty fucking good. So I don't know what the science is behind, letting whiskey sit and having, I don't know if it's the oxygen or whatever it is. Like, I let it sit for a while. It was actually pretty good. And it's a good daily sipper, and it's like a $30 bottle. And I'm super excited to kind of see like what else he's got coming out. Because he told me he has like shoot, I think he said like a pecan infused like whiskey.
Ooh.
So you remember that pecan infused whiskey I let you try?
Yes.
So it's something similar to that, and he's got like a cask strength or barrel strength, like tomato, kind of just a higher proof whiskey because the whiskey he has out right now is like 93 proof or something like that, and for a whiskey that's kind of low. So, yeah, I'm going on a tangent right now, but I can talk about whiskey all day, motherfucker.
Dude, that sounds. I mean, you got to think. You got to have the opportunity to try Whiskey Moon. So you talk about whiskey, you can't leave out Whiskey Moon.
Bro, that shit was so fucking good. Talk about Whiskey Moon. What is that? Let everyone know.
So good. So Whiskey Moon is actually part bourbon or whiskey with I can't even think right now, with a blue moon. It's like 8 ounces of blue moon with some lemon juice and some simple syrup. That is it, and it is on point. It's probably one of the best things I've created. I didn't create it, but best thing I've ever had.
I was gonna say, wait, you fucking created that?
I created it. No, just kidding. I
no
did
wonder
not
that.
create it.
No wonder that bartender didn't know what the fuck you were talking about. So, but no, dude, that shit.
It
So,
was so good.
for everybody listening, that shit was so good that I'm making it, and I'm telling everyone now that is gonna be my signature cocktail at my wedding, Whiskey Moon.
Oh
So,
man,
that shit is so good, man.
it's so good. So the one that the bartender used was actually Jameson. That was the whiskey that she used was Jameson.
Okay.
And I didn't think that it would blend well, but that was so. Oh, it was hands down one of the best mixed drinks that I've ever made.
Yeah, and like I'm not a big
good.
Irish whiskey fan, but like there's some Irish whiskey that I've had that I'm like, okay, it's pretty good. But like whenever it's different if you have a mixed drink versus like drinking something neat, like that shit was so good.
Oh, it was. Yeah, I'm excited for you to want to have that as a signature drink because that. I mean, honestly, I've had multiple bartenders try to make that, and they either don't have the ingredients or they just say they can't do it because it's not a listed menu item.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for you not only to have it, but it's hands down I think one of the best mixes I've ever had. So
yeah,
for those of you listening, Whiskey Moon is what it's called.
Whiskey Moon.
Want to give it a try.
You know, one thing we didn't try while you were here, I even brought it up whenever you were here, was the dirty martini, but it had the.
That's right. You were trying to get us every night. We forgot about
it. We just didn't do it, but it's all good. But it's my love of dirty martinis came from whenever Courtney and I went to Hudson House. So that's a restaurant here in Dallas, and I think there's maybe 2 or 3 of them in this general area or the DFW area. And DFW is fucking huge.
Yeah,
but
I learned that place.
So this restaurant has a cocktail called the Blue and Gold, and it is a dirty martini that has blue cheese stuffed olives, and then they have blue cheese infused salts around the rim. And Courtney actually got me blue cheese salt for my birthday, olive juice, and then some vodka for me to be able to create that drink at home. Because like, dude, fuck, I wish I would have made one for y'all while you were here, but it's so fucking good. Like if I wasn't drinking bourbon, like that's
your go-to.
That's gonna be like my go-to drink. Like it's so fucking good. But like the only place I've been to that makes it is Hudson House. It's so good.
Hudson House. So okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's right. Of course we can make it. We can probably come up with the stuff to try to create it. But that doesn't sound as good as the hot dog seltzers.
Oh my god.
The hot dog and that company is I think 29, 30 minutes away from you guys.
I'm gonna throw up.
Oh,
Yeah.
Used water from hot dogs turned into created into seltzers. Hard seltzers.
What's that company called again? Do you remember?
Is it Morton House?
It's a Texas company, correct?
Yes, it is.
Now I remember you talking about that, but like, dude, a fucking a hot dog water seltzer, like I'll try it because I'm adventurous, but like, dude, that sounds terrible.
I don't even think I could try that. I love try new things, food, drinks, anything, but that just. And I love hot dogs, but you can't combine that with oh god. Sorry for making the ones who just I'm sorry for bringing that up for the ones who just feel like they're going to get stuck over that, but it sounded so disgusting that I had to bring it up.
Well, you know what? It's all good. I don't really care about everyone else's feelings because if I did care about everyone else's feelings, I'd be so drained.
Oh,
Fuck,
no.
fuck that shit. So you remember that
Well,
time that you maybe watch The Human Centipede? You didn't care. You didn't care about my feelings. I didn't know what I was getting into. You're like, hey, Sean, this movie that we're getting ready to watch is it's pretty good. We're gonna watch The Human Centipede, and I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this, Keith. And you're like, don't worry about it. Just trust me. And I was like, okay, I'll trust you. And then we watched it, and I was like, I shouldn't have trusted you anymore. And then the second one came out, and I was like, I'm at home by myself, and I'm like, I think I'll watch it because I trusted Keith, but also he lied to me because he said it was good. But then again, I trusted him, and I watched it still, and I was like, God damn it, Keith. The second one's even worse. So
but did you watch the third one?
no, I didn't, but I did hear about it after dude, that honestly, that movie is still seared in my brain because it was so fucking terrible.
It's terrible,
Like
man.
I watched it and I was like still I remember everything that happened. Even South Park made fun of that movie. They were like
The Human Centipede.
you had the human centipede. You had the fucking Asian guy at the front, and he was like, he's the one that's getting fed everything, and he's like talking to Kyle behind him because his mouth is hooked up to his ass, and he's like, Kyle, do you want vanilla paste or cuttlefish? And he was like, vanilla paste, vanilla paste. He's like, oh, cuttlefish, okay, and then he fucking eats cuttlefish, and he's like, ah.
Oh my god.
South Park is probably hands down top 5 one of my favorite TV shows because it's so fucking funny, but they also they kind of stay consistent with like
yeah, with
the bullshit that's going on with the exactly. So
updated events.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm not I'm not say too big of a fan. I never got into it growing up or even at this age. I still haven't got into it, but man, the little clips that I see out of it, oh man, it's just so fun what they do. They're very creative, for sure.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I would love to meet those guys, and that reminds me of not the same creators, Trey and Matt. I forget their last names, but I had rewatched Idiocracy. Did we talk about that?
Oh, that's a great movie. No,
so I had rewatched that movie like last week or something, and I literally felt my IQ going down second by second. And, if you ask me what IQ stands for, I don't fucking know. It just talks. It's just Does anyone know what that means? I have no idea, but always question everything, everybody. You know what? That's just how I am. But I remember I remember watching that movie and I'm like, dude, this fucking movie, like everyone's fucking retarded, but also it's very like it's to an extreme, but it also is like very relevant to today's times because this movie was made in I think 2005, 2006 or something. I don't
early
remember,
2000s.
But shout out to Mike Judge, very creative individual. He created Beavis and Butthead, King of the Hill, and I'm sure other things as well, but those are the two main things he's known for. And watching this movie, it's like you got this guy from the military. He's like a librarian in modern day times, and is set up to go work in this project, this military project, where they like put him in a cryogenic chamber. He's gonna sleep for 1 year, put that in quotes because obviously it did not happen. In the movie, he like is asleep for like 500 years, and again, he's an average Joe in modern day times. So we'll pretend 2006, just because that's when the movie I think came out. And wakes up 500 years later, and everyone's fucking retarded. They're planting their crops with fucking I don't know what it's called. I don't know what it's called. I don't know what it's called in the movie, but it's essentially Gatorade. And they're like, why are you planting your crops with Gatorade? And like, it has electrolytes. So whenever I watched this movie, I rewatched it. I was like, Fuck, this is like eerily kind of accurate to like what's going on nowadays because people don't critically think. You, and people are very quick to do certain things because of social media, and they think like, most people get their news from social media nowadays. And it's like,
Yeah.
to a degree, I understand that because of, like CNN, Fox, all these other news channels are like, I don't know what your opinion is on it, but I feel like they're kind of like not really they're creating a narrative for all that shit. But
Yeah.
um
It's a creative story out of something small.
yeah, so but Idiocracy, I literally felt like an idiot after I watched it. So
It's so good though. I haven't seen that in a couple of years. I need to bring that one back out and give it a retrial.
yeah, I think it was on I had to rent it. I think it was on Amazon Prime like $2. So if you're willing to fork out $2.
I don't think it's worth $2, but maybe 50 cents.
I agree.
Just kidding. But yeah, I'll have to try to give that one a shot. We love movies. Movies is a big part of just life in general. We went and recently watched Elvis, which was really good.
Oh yeah, with Tom Hanks.
Yes, that is fantastic. Jurassic World, or is that what it is? Jurassic World Dominion.
I heard that
Very
was
good.
terrible.
The Jurassic World?
Well, you talking about the one that's literally just was in theaters? I heard it was fucking trash. You said it was good?
It's not. It's going to be different people's opinions on how it's portrayed, how it's thought on, but it is good. I thought it was actually really good.
Well, you know what? This comes back to Idiocracy. Is like, just because one person says one thing, it's like, you know what? I'm gonna follow them and be the same as
Yes.
everyone else because I'm a fucking sheep. So,
Question though, what are you
yeah.
sipping on right now?
So this is a
Is that still
barrel-proof straight rye whiskey. I know
okay?
you like rye.
Yes,
That's one thing I learned about you this weekend is you like ryes.
that's what I learned about myself.
It's also I'm so yeah, it's a learning game, man. It takes a while. So it's a single barrel. It's called the Senator Barrel Proof. It's a 6-year straight rye whiskey, picked by Total Wine. It is well. Why is that funny? Why is that so funny?
No, that's good. That's good.
You can't really see that because of the glare, but
yeah, I can see it.
yeah, it's pretty good, man. I haven't opened it up in a while. It's been a minute, so what's so
good.
funny? Why are you laughing?
Nothing. I think it's so funny that you have all those bottles.
I like whiskey. Fuck you.
Anyways, yeah, that's no, you really do have a really lot of good stuff that I mean there was things I haven't tried yet that there was not enough time to try all the stuff that you had. Let's put it that way.
Oh no.
Yeah,
And
you have so much good stuff.
well, see, like the problem with like the amount of time that you had here versus like the amount of bottles I had is like you're going to you're going to saturate the taste of like each like bottle of whiskey if you're trying 5 bottles, 10 bottles a day because like at the end of that you're gonna be like, you know what, everything kind of tastes the same because like if you're drunk or if you're whatever, like you're gonna be like, yeah, that's good, because you're fucking drunk. Not saying you were, but I'm just speaking.
Yeah, so to bring that up, it was because you at one point I taste tested 15 bottles, but obviously my pores were very very minimal. Like I would barely pour it. I'm like, did I even get enough to taste it?
Yeah. So, well, yeah, because I was aware of that. I gave you like 1/4 of an ounce or something. I don't know, but
yeah, it was insane. But that's what I learned was, because a lot of people do have that instinct of like, oh, it all tastes the same. Like, but after tasting 15 bottles back to back, it truly there's a complete difference.
Yeah.
In every single one that you do taste, and But you're right. It kind of at times, if you don't clean your palate or clear it out, it does run together, and then you're just like, okay, well, now I just feel like I'm doing this for nothing. So, um, but that's, to me, I don't know if there's ever going to be another opportunity for me to even try as many as I did that you provided. Again, thank you so much for that. It was definitely fantastic. So I do look forward to that. I look forward to that again. Not only wouldn't even be considered that, but just seeing you again and hanging out with you and Courtney and making new memories.
Yeah, I need to make a trip to come down to Florida. I haven't been there in fucking forever. So Courtney and I were actually talking about that after y'all left. I was like, we need to go down to God damn it, what city are y'all in again?
So it's in near Daytona Beach. So we're literally 11 minutes from the beach. So,
Okay. I mean, if I don't want to go to the beach, then I'm fucking stupid.
And what an idiot.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got a bedroom, got a place for you guys to stay, and I think it would be a great time to have you guys and basically explore the city, whatever you guys are interested in. But
we'll figure it out. But you know what? My question to you is like, what are your thoughts on aliens?
My thoughts on aliens?
Yeah, what do you think about that? Like, are they like? What do you think? Like, are they real? You know, with the government now, with the government nowadays, they're talking about like, you know what, UFO sightings are real. Whatever. What do you think about all that shit?
A UFO is just an unidentified flying object. That's all it is. So of course, you see a flying object, you're like, oh, it's unidentified. I mean, it's not going to be an alien. My opinion, there's no freaking aliens.
What the? How do you? Okay, how do you know though? There's no way you.
I don't, but I'm just saying, there's not. That's my opinion. Again.
Well, your opinion is fucking goddamn wrong. Okay, so like honestly, I feel like there's no way there's like no other life outside of like what is on Earth,
Area 51?
Unless, say again.
I said Area 51.
I said outside of Earth.
Well, so yeah.
So, are there some aliens in Area 51? I don't know. I mean, I would like to think so. Just because like I feel like movies, TV shows program us to think like certain things, and like what you see on TV like makes you think like, okay, Area 51 does have aliens there. Just I don't know. That's just my me thinking, but my mind's fucking weird. But
yeah, I don't.
What if we're like actually in the Matrix and like we're in all reality, we're sitting in a vat of like fucking some sort of goo and we're being fed through a fucking tube, and this is actually all just a fucking hologram right now. Like this podcast that we're doing is just total fucking bullshit. Like this whiskey that I'm drinking is just some bullshit. Like what if that's what's actually going on right now?
And you said that this whiskey is not even whiskey, it's glue?
No, I'm just saying, like, what if, like, so you've seen The Matrix before, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
great movie, by the way.
So they're kind of like set up in some fucking chair or something. They're sitting there, like whatever. They got some bullshit in the back of their head to like connect them to the fucking what's called the Matrix, and they're sitting there like, and they're doing whatever they want to do, but like. What if like it's actually like us in a vat of like goo or some shit like that instead of us sitting in a chair?
I mean, I could see that being the case probably, but I don't know. I do admit we may be aliens here soon enough. And I say that because Elon Musk is planning to go to Mars in like a couple of years. So we're going to be traveling to Mars, and we're going to be considered aliens. So think of that one through.
Yeah, that's a smart ass motherfucker, man. Like
that is.
Yeah.
I mean, he's getting us to another planet. Are you kidding me? Like he's trying to create life on another planet.
You know why he's smart is because he's not getting on those rockets to send other people to other
Yes.
planets.
He's a genius at that point.
Because you know why? Because those motherfuckers are gonna blow the fuck up. Why would he get on those fucking rockets?
I will admit, have you ever seen a rocket launch in person, like a live rocket launch?
No, that would be pretty cool, but no, I've never seen one in person.
So they have them in Orlando, well, Cape Canaveral,
Yeah, I'm not.
and
Yeah,
dude, we actually went last year to see one, and it was amazing.
yeah,
I thought it'd be kind of boring, but it truly was one of the greatest experiences. It was just really cool because they even use it's a reusable rocket. The engines that they use, it actually comes right back down to earth on this like little pad, and I'm like, first of all, you got to be a genius just to create it to where it can land on that specific pad. But it's just really cool that they're able to reuse and reuse. So um, that's his whole motive, is to eventually it becomes a entertainment. You know, we go to these basketball games, we go to all these sporting events. This is eventually going to be an event, an entertainment. Like, hey, you can go flying. A theme park, got one better for you. Let's go to space.
yeah.
I think it's
That
really
would
cool.
that would be pretty cool. So, like, I mean, safely, how far away do you have to be to actually view a rocket launch? Did I like communicate that with you or?
So we discovered where we were. We're about 7 miles away. In reality, it looks so far away, but when you think about it, it's very close. So, of course, we were able to see it take off, but it was about 30 seconds later when we heard the aftershock. Was that what it is? The aftershock. So, like the ground just starts shaking,
Yeah,
but meanwhile, it's halfway in the air, and you're like it was a really cool experience. The scary part was we're under a bridge, so it's like, man, that shakes too much. That bridge is going to collapse. So,
yeah.
uh, but yeah, it's a really cool experience. And there's a documentary on Netflix. Of course, I'll bring this up, and I don't even remember the name of it. Inspirations. I think that's what's called, the Inspiration Flight, something like that. You'll have to look it up. It's really good. But it's actually related to 4 civilians. It's not they're not astronauts. They're just 4 civilians who drew, because of their life, what's going on in their life. They were able to get on this rocket ship and orbit the Earth for 3 days. Really cool story. It's like a five episode documentary, but it follows each individual. There's 4 of them. So if you and Courtney have nothing else to do, it is a really good documentary. And so of course, being around here, there's always space launches, and so there's times we'll go to the beach and we'll sit there and watch one of the space launches. It's really cool. Well, if you guys come in, we'll try to see if there's one planned, and if so, we'll take y'all to experience one.
Yeah, that'll be super cool. I can check it off. Check that off the bucket list. That would be
Yeah,
that'd be dope, man. I'd like that. Oh, excuse me. I'd like that.
yeah, it's a really cool experience. So
Are you still drinking that Whistle Pig?
I am. I'm almost done with it. Just a few sips away, and sadly enough, I'll have that bottle finished off. I'm really sad about it, now that we're thinking about it.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's kind of how I feel about certain bottles as well. I've killed maybe like 5 bottles out of everything I've bought, but like there's so many different things that I'm trying. It's like it's hard to just like finish one thing.
Well, this specifically, this was gifted to me, the Whistle Pig, and so it's one of those. I try to savor it as much as I can, but it truly just has a great taste to it, and
Yeah,
so I'm like, I guess I'll finish it. So, um, but yeah, it's treated me well through my journey of this bottle.
yeah. Well, fuck. So the other day, Courtney was like, "Hey, you want to stop at Lucky Liquor?" And I was like, "I gotta get close to the camera for this one."
Let's both do it. Let's do it.
I was like, "Are you fucking shitting me, Courtney? You said you want to go to the liquor store with me? Is the world fucking ending right now?" Because
It's ending because She doesn't do that.
No, she
She does
doesn't. And I was
not
like,
do that.
you know what I said? I said, no, I don't want to go because I don't have any more room for whiskey. And she was like, let's just go. And I was like,
What did she have a reason? What was her purpose?
well, she wanted to get a bottle of wine. They sell a very good bottle of wine that I actually like. Didn't think I would like wine, but there is a wine that is based out of California in Willamette. You know, you can kind of call it "Damn It," Willamette. It's
Willamette.
Willamette County or Willamette Valley, actually. It's like a $25 bottle of wine. It's actually pretty fucking good, and they have a pretty. They sell it at Lucky Liquor, the place that we went to. What actually? Did you come with us? That yeah. So
Yeah.
went there and dude, the day that I don't want to go and I walk in there, they have every fucking bottle that I want ever. And I'm like, I can't spend money on this shit. I can't spend money on this shit right now because I'm trying to save for a fucking wedding. So
You know, there's times where you just gotta splurge.
I'm not
And
splurging.
I felt like
No.
that day would have been perfect time to splurge.
No.
Perfect time.
It would have been nice, but then I would have had buyer's remorse after I bought those goddamn bottles that I can't fucking fit anywhere. You know where I would have to put them whenever I brought them to the house? Up my fucking
In the
ass.
bathroom?
No, in
In
my
the bathroom.
in my ass. So, but
Oh my gosh. Could just gave them to the dogs. How are the dogs doing?
I feel
Are they
like
good?
Zoe's getting like I don't know, something. I feel like she's old as fuck. So like
Yeah, I
she
recognize.
she like literally fell down today. Like just she was upstairs barking because like I feel like her hind legs are like I can't remember exactly, but she like tore like ACL, MCL, whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah.
And on both of her hind legs, and she's having to compensate for the lack of strength in her hind legs, and like she's forcing a lot of weight on her front legs. And she like fucking fell earlier today, and I was like, holy shit, just like
Poor
standing
Zoe.
there. Yeah, so I'm hoping that Zoe can actually like be around for the wedding because like that's something that Courtney really wants.
Really?
Because Zoe's the OG. She's
Yeah.
like
She's
her
been around.
that's like her first love. Besides me, hopefully. I say hopefully because I'm being sarcastic because I know I
was gonna say,
am.
I'm gonna say no.
But you know, Alfie's the same. You know, just goofy as fuck.
Alfie's awesome. Alfie,
He,
they're both honestly both of them are really good pups.
he's like, pet me instead. Don't touch Zoe. God dang piece of poo. That's what Alfie is. I love Alfie, but he's also a piece of shit. So
Well, that's why you gotta pet both of them at the same time.
I do, but you gotta be strategic about it. It's like I'm sitting. So it's funny. So I came back to the house earlier. Alfie's like, "Oh my god, you're home! I haven't seen you like fucking 10 years." But even though it was only like 30 minutes, and I was like, "I just fucking saw you, piece of shit! Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I just hit the camera."
Uh,
And I was like, Zoe was sitting on the couch. She was like, "Oh, are you home? I'm not moving because I'm old." And I was like, "I don't blame you."
I bet
And
she was barking at you the whole time, right?
no, she wasn't. So
Oh,
I was petting her on the couch, and I was petting Alfie behind the couch because I was like, Alfie, just come over here because like he's such a selfish dog, but he's so cute, and he's a Bernedoodle. That's
Bernedoodle.
so he's a
Yeah,
Bernedoodle.
that's
So
right. Yeah.
it's a uh I can't remember the mix. It's like some sort of like mountain dog and a poodle mix, and he's like a mini dog. And he's I mean he's a cute dog, but he's also a annoying piece of shit. I'll be straight up about that. I love
But
you, Alfie. If you're watching this, even though you're probably not going to, I fucking love you, but also you're a piece of shit. So, Zoe is a sweet dog, but she's also old. And if you don't give her peanut butter, she's gonna let you know about it. And
Wait. You never gave her peanut butter while we were there. I'm pretty upset about this.
Courtney probably did, but I don't know. But you know what I did do for her today is I did this for both of them. Courtney bought these CBD peanut butter gummies.
That's a thing?
And I was like, wait, hold up. These are CBD peanut butter gummies for dogs, but you didn't get me fucking gummies like that for me? Like, the fuck? So, but like,
I've never heard of such.
I gave them some peanut butter CBD gummies earlier before I started the podcast, and I was like, y'all better not bark, because if you do, you're not getting any more of this.
You're gonna go downstairs and they're just gonna be laying there. Like eyes wide open, just laying there.
Yeah.
Their eyes are gonna look like your eyes, how they're glowing right now. Yes.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh, that's exactly how they're gonna look. Oh. I can't take it. Oh, that's funny. Oh man, this has been wonderful.
Yeah, it's good times, man.
It's such good times.
If I could, I would pour you some whiskey to the fucking like screen, but like I don't think that's a thing right now. Elon Musk, if you're listening to this, can you kind of create something where like you can create a portal through like the screen to where I can like put my hand and like pour him some shit?
Just pour.
Yeah, fuck Mars, Elon.
Wait, what?
Fuck Mars.
I mean,
focus on getting me to be able to pour him some shit through the screen first. Anyways,
I mean, I'll go to Mars.
I'll go to Mars, but also I don't know if I want to, because people might die as soon as they get there. Speaking of Mars, have you ever seen Starship Troopers? Yeah, fuck that shit. What if, like, you know, crickets and cockroaches and any other kind of bugs that were around us are actually 10 times as big or 50 times as big, and they fucking like were roaming the earth? That's what Starship Troopers is actually, because
like bigger than the buildings, just roaming around.
Well, yeah, because like, you know, whenever they go to whatever fucking planet they go to, like they're fighting these, they call them bugs. They're fucking insects, but like they're like a million times as big as normal. So like,
we would be like Men in Black then. We'd take care of them.
Yeah, that's kind of different, because like they're not real. They're fighting aliens, but like they don't have armies.
Bugs could be considered the aliens.
True. You know what? That is true. Never mind.
Then we'll flash them.
Yeah, they gotta wear their glasses like we are. Yeah. Here's your. Let me flash this real quick. Blink. Hold on. Let me get my Men in Black camera, dude. I remember when that movie first came out. I thought it was so cool.
It still is cool. They made like 4 or 5 of them.
Oh my god. So this is for the Let's Have a Sip podcast. This is the longest podcast I've had so far. So
yeah,
congratulations.
Well, I'm thankful to be a part of it. It's been great. I mean, we can go for another hour and a half if you want.
Oh, I'm totally fine with that. I ain't got shit to do, so we're gonna shoot the shit the whole time. So
I mean, I'm here for it. So let's have a sip.
You said you were taking shots. So I think you called me beforehand, or I called you before you got on. You were like, "I'm drunk."
No, definitely not. I was just messing.
But you were kidding. But like, so you said you had shots of something. What were you taking shots of?
So actually, had a sip of. Took two sips of things because I couldn't figure out which one I wanted to sip on. I had Jack Daniel's Gentleman Jack, and then one that I really, really enjoy, and it's called Black Eagle.
I know what you're talking about.
It is literally a $12 bottle, and it is it's a honey. It's
Yeah.
Black Eagle Honey. It is so good. So yeah, I was sipping on that just a little bit there, and I was like, you know what, I'll finish this whiskey figure off. So, what do you got? What'd you bring out?
It is Smoke Wagon. This is straight bourbon
The Smoke
whiskey.
Wagon. Okay.
This is their
There you
I guess bottom shelf whiskey. It's pretty good. Haven't had it in a while. It's more so for like mixing drinks, but like they're oh, I got the uncut unfiltered is so fucking good.
Wait a minute. Which one did I try?
You tried this one.
Oh, the uncut.
Yeah, with the amber
Unfiltered.
bottle. Woo!
Okay.
That's so good. So,
That's the one.
you know
What was really good though was that cigar blend. By the way, that cigar was really good too. So
yeah. Shout out to Justin for those. He gave me those.
Justin, thank you, sir.
Yeah, that was very good.
Do you remember what they were?
Vegas Gold, I think.
The Honduras.
It was a Honduras like type of cigar. I don't know. It was they were made in Honduras. It was called Vegas Gold. I don't know anything else about it, but
Yeah,
they were good. They were enjoyable. It's a good so it was a bachelor present, or excuse me, a groomsman present.
That's right.
He bought, so he had like 6 bachelor. I can't talk straight. He had 6 groomsmen, so 6 times he bought like 5 for each of us. So I mean, I'm sure it was maybe like a $5 cigar, but like it was a good $5 cigar. Like I enjoyed it. So
I'll admit that it's like the cheaper things. I mean, those kind of lines are actually better than majority of the more expensive ones.
well, yeah. So that's with a lot of certain things
Just
in
name
life. Like,
brands.
yeah. So like, I mean, just because you're paying X amount of money for something does not mean that it's going to be good. But also that if you are paying X like more money for something, to a degree, it does actually have truth to it. Like if you're paying
Mhm.
more for a car, like let's say you're trying to get a Ferrari. Yes, you're paying for a name brand, but also that name brand is a fucking beast. Like that's
Yeah.
actually a good fucking car. But when it comes to like whiskey or I can't speak on cigars because I don't know cigars that much. But like just because you're paying, let's say, I'll give you like a life experience of my own. Like let's say I'm paying for a bottle of Pappy Van Winkle. I
Yeah.
paid so Courtney and I went to the first place that we met a couple months ago for the first time since we met, and I was like, you know what? They have some pretty good whiskey here. I'm gonna get a bottle, or excuse me, a pour of Pappy Van Winkle.
Mhm.
I tried it. It was $70 for a 2-ounce pour,
What?
dude. It wasn't that good.
Are you serious?
It was good, but like it wasn't that good.
It just wasn't like top notch for what the price was set out to be.
No. So that's my whole point is just because you're paying, let's say, $1,000 for a bottle, which hopefully you don't ever have to do that.
I don't think
Like,
I will ever do that in my life.
that's like it's not worth it. Like, there are so many like these bottles behind me. I may have paid like I don't know, the most expensive bottle behind me is like maybe like $130, but like
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, this bottle right here, like Penelope, like I think you tried it. The
Oh yeah,
Penelope,
yeah.
that one, like I paid $60 for it. Phenomenal. Eagle Rare. These fucking, I got 3 bottles of them. I haven't paid over $30 for one. Like these
Yeah.
are, it's a Buffalo Trace product. It's fucking phenomenal. But like if you like, people will upcharge this shit or price gouge it so much because people are looking for it. And they might find people that'll pay 60, $100 for this bottle. Like
Yeah,
it's
some people will do it.
yeah. Like I'm
Kind of like the bottle that we got to take a look at and even touch at that restaurant.
Yeah. So that was a double eagle, very rare Buffalo Trace bottle. That's like a $20,000 bottle, but it's like the only reason for that is because they made
Made
a
200 of them, right?
yeah, so like a barrel of whiskey holds a little over 200. So they maybe made a barrel of that. But like I've never tried it. I'm not going to pay $1,000
Yeah.
a pour, which is what that restaurant was charging for
That was
that.
an ounce, 1 ounce.
It's not worth it. Like
No,
would I want to try it? Yes, but at the same time it's like why would I pay that much for something like that? Like no.
no.
I'm good.
I mean, it did have a light on it. That was really cool.
Yeah, it did. And also like the restaurant we're talking about that had this, it was Smoky Rose. You know, shout out to Russ. He's a very cool guy. The guy that we're talking to at the bar. He was
Yeah.
one of the first guys that I met whenever I first came to Dallas in regards to like trying to kind of like branch out into whiskey. Super cool guy. And that bottle's been there ever since I moved here. And
It's still unopened.
nobody's opened it because it's fucking insanely expensive. And they've only made 200 bottles of them. And I'm aware that there's 2 bottles in Dallas.
No way.
Yeah, there's one at
Of all
Smoky Rose,
places.
that restaurant, and then there's another one at a restaurant right down the street from there. But it's like I
It's just
can't
a
like
collector's item at that point.
yeah, it's a novelty, it's a collector's
Yeah.
item. Like I'm not paying that much for a bottle of fucking whiskey. Unless that shit like fucking makes me get instantly drunk and have a fucking orgasm, I'm not paying for it. Fuck
Or it
you.
makes you fly. One of those. That's it. Yeah, that's insane. So I thought it was really cool the experience to be able to see that. I did realize Dallas has a lot of opportunities. Not only opportunities, but like a lot of places that provide a lot of high end whiskeys and bourbons and all that. So
Yeah.
it was really cool to see because around here you're just going to see they consider it top shelf, but it's bottom shelf.
Yeah.
So, but no, that was a really cool experience though. Still a lot of fun. I'll be honest. Like Dallas was a really neat experience. I went back whenever I was 15 years old. When I actually Steven and we used to play in a league called AAU, which was a high school league and for the Tennessee Travelers. And that was the last time I went to Dallas. And it's really funny because we played against Little Romeo. Master P was the coach. Little Romeo was running around the court, and they had some kind of videographer running up and down the court, like literally on the court, trying to video him as we're playing. And I'm like, this is so awkward. But it was a really cool experience, to do that. But that was before coming to see you this past week. That was the last time I had been in Dallas, and it was a really cool experience. I enjoyed I hated the weather. I'll say that 100 times, but man, I really liked it. Really enjoyed it. So we're actually thinking about coming back and seeing you guys sometime before next year, if possible. So
no doubt. It's funny. I forgot that you had played against Romeo, and then Master P was the coach.
He was, man. Master P was the coach, and he had 4 bodyguards behind the bench protecting him. And then right afterwards, you would watch them walk out to their limo and leave the city. So it's like it was bizarre just watching them. But Houston was actually where I got to, oh, I'm sorry, not Houston, Nashville. Nashville is where I got to play Blake Griffin. I remember Blake, and Blake was a really down to earth dude. Like he was a really cool guy to speak with, and this was right after he had signed with Oklahoma. I ran into him in the hallway. We talked for about 20 minutes. But of course, obviously, I haven't spoken to him since. But it was really neat for that whole um, experience, such as playing in that league. And we got to play against some top talent, which was a lot of fun at the time. I'm trying to think of some players: Derrick Rose, Dante Green, Spencer Hawes. We watched Kevin Durant play. Of course, he was a year above us, so we didn't play against their team. But to watch him pull up, he literally pulled a Steph Curry. He shot past half court and hit the shot. Like pulled up to the half court line and knocked it down at 17, 18 years old. And I'm like, this dude's gonna be something. So to be able to play against those guys, man, it was a lot of fun. And it's really cool is to see them, truthfully, to see where they're at right now. They're excelling in the league and being superstars. That's truly what they're at. They're at the superstar level. So, but yeah, that right there, I know that kind of rambled into Nashville, but that was my like adventurous start to Dallas. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, even my time with you guys.
Yeah, it was fun, man.
I will admit, the restaurants there in Dallas are top notch. They're so good. So good.
We didn't really even bring y'all to like the 5-star restaurants because they're so fucking
I'd say you didn't even
expensive.
have to.
But you know, so whenever I proposed to Courtney, that night we went to an Italian restaurant, hands down, best Italian restaurant I've ever been to. Carbone.
Carbone, I remember you spoke on that one.
Fuck, dude, that shit was so good. And there was only 3 of them in the whole world. There's one in Dallas, one in New York where it originated, and then I think one in Tokyo. And
Yep.
dude, like, I mean, the fucking bread. Whenever they brought it out, I was like, as soon as I tried the bread when they first brought it out, I was like, what the
You're
fuck?
like, this
Why
is
is this
over.
so good?
So,
Everything. I'm telling you, everything. Even the drinks, the food, the dessert, everything was fucking phenomenal.
but
Like,
what were they known for? Like, were they known for steaks, barbecue?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know, but all I know is that everything that I had while I was there was fucking phenomenal. The service was A1. It was it fucking hands down best fucking restaurant I've ever been to. I'm a seafood guy. I love seafood
Mhm.
restaurants. You know, I've had every kind of food you can think of, but like if I had to pick Italian food, would that be my favorite type of food? No, but like whenever we went there, dude, I gotta say, hands down, best fucking food I've ever had in my life. Like,
Yeah, that's big time.
yes,
I'd say, especially if you're a seafood person. So that's
yeah,
kind of crazy that they blend it
yeah,
so well with
yeah,
Italian.
yeah. And it's not a place that I would go to like every weekend or every other like whatever. Like it was like a special occasion kind of place just because it's so good. It, yeah, it was good.
Well, so you would consider that the best place that you've been so far,
Oh yeah, no doubt.
like
Yeah,
hands down?
yes, 100%.
Okay. Okay. Thanks for not taking us there,
You're welcome.
idiot. uh, that's pretty awesome. So of course, we live beachside. Well, no, obviously, 11 minutes from the beach. There's a lot of beachside restaurants here, and um, uh, one I'll have to go through some of the places and try them. I've been to a few of them, but to give like your perspective on them, I'll come up with some of the restaurants. Try to take you to a few of them because they are really good around here for sure.
Oh, I bet so.
Yeah, but let's have a sip. But what else has been going on though? Anything good? Anything new? Anything exciting?
I mean, well, nothing different since you've been here, really. Just fucking working, man. Just
Yeah,
hustling. I
that's
do
how good
need
work
to.
for a while.
I do need to kind of like get some more people for the podcast. So,
Mhm.
um, I'm booked out until the end of August, but that's not good enough. So
Oh, we'll get you out to the end of November. Um, I got a few people on my list. I'll give them a call, give them a little ring, and see if we can go get you connected with them.
yeah, no doubt. But yeah, man. So how's how's that insurance shit going? Did you take what Richard said
Oh God!
to heart?
So literally, the what was that Tuesday? Tuesday, I went and I actually spoke to a couple people to talk about it's the licensing. So I spoke to a couple people about it, and crazy enough, a few people already have them. Like there's people in my considered on my team. They already have theirs. Um, so what it is I've just got to get connected with them to figure out the next steps to, I guess, to figure out how to get those the license taken care of. Um, but yes, like I typed it like the day that at that time at the table when he told me that stuff, that information, I actually put it in my phone and I put it down because I was like, I definitely want to follow up with that.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt, man. And like I was telling you, like while we were there, excuse my like slurring language. I'm been drinking a little bit too much whiskey, everybody. So
Oh, that's funny.
no, but I'm telling you, Manny, like he's a G when it comes to all that shit. You know, Richard's a fucking animal,
Yeah,
and like what he was telling you, like I wouldn't like just blow it off. Like take that shit to heart. He's a fucking animal when it comes to that shit.
yeah, and
So
for what he mentioned, it's one of the top tier brokers. So in the country, maybe even the world. You know, I didn't get specified that far, but I know it's in the top country. So um, so to hear that from him, I thought it was really neat to kind of have that something in common to that extent, because it's not often you're just going to run into somebody that's in the same line of business that you're in. So to get feedback like that, yeah, that truly triggered it. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna look into it, speak to some people, and see where I can get going with it. So it'll be really
yeah,
cool. Yeah, definitely know I definitely didn't let that just go in one ear and out the other.
yeah, you better not have bitch.
I did it. Are we gonna fight?
I hope not, because if we
No,
do,
because I just want to hug you. I want to hug you like the way I hugged you when I first saw you in Dallas at your doorstep.
oh well, yeah, that's like, hey man, how's it going? Blah, blah, blah.
No, no, like that was the most perfect hug that I've ever given you. I truly believe it. So yeah, that's all I want. Oh man, it's a lot of fun.
Dude. So I was thinking about this earlier. I really want to get a PlayStation 5 because I know you have one.
Okay, okay.
So remind me, what games do you have for PlayStation 5?
So plot twist. PlayStation, they created a kind of like a Game Pass, like Xbox has. Xbox has a Game Pass that's so much money a month. Uh, you play all the games that you want. So PlayStation actually just came out with it in June. So they have 3 tiers, um, and the tiers are based off of you get. So I can break it down. So first tier is you basically just get your free games each month. Second tier you can buy into get where you can play all PS4, PS5 games. And then the third tier you can play all PS4, PS5s, PS3s, PS2s, and PS1s. So you get all the originals that you can play in them. So I actually upgraded mine to the extra, which is the second tier. So I've been playing a lot of the PlayStation 4s and 5 games. So when you ask, type of games you have, well, now I've got a playlist of quite a bit of games. So it's really cool that they've done that because what they're trying to do is mimic what Xbox is doing for Game Pass because apparently it was something that took off for them. So PlayStation was like, hey, we'll we'll try to match you or one up you. So, I kid you not, though, recently I have been, this sounds so odd, but I used to love motocross games. MTV, and what was it? MX and MTV. I've already forgot those, what they were standing for. Motocross.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I've literally been playing for the past week a motocross game. And if you give me a second, I can tell you exactly what game. And that is MX versus MTV. Oh, sorry, MX versus ATV All Out. And it brought me back to PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3s. That, like, those used to be really fun, like arcade games, and this one matches it. Like, this is a brand new one of the brand new games. It matches it. It's so much fun. So, to answer your question, that's actually one of the games I've been playing. And of course, Call of Duty, NBA 2K22, some of the basketball games, and a lot of story mode games. So
Yeah. Oh, because I've been contemplating like buying a PlayStation 5, but I'm like, is it worth it? Like, the graphics good?
Oh, the graphics, man, are amazing. Yeah, they're fantastic. It even has haptic feedback on the controllers. So when you all right over there?
Yeah, I'm good.
Party foul. Don't party foul on here.
A little bit.
On son. So the haptic feedback is if you're playing a first-person shooter, say if you're drawing a bow of any sort, that depending on how far you're drawing that bow back, has reflection to the button. It's like it depends on how far you push the button in, is how far the bow goes back, which is really cool, I think. Xbox doesn't have those, PlayStation does, so it's really cool if you're into cool little features like that. But yeah, the graphics are amazing.
Okay. Yeah, no. I was walking through Target the other day, and I was like, so one thing I always do whenever I go to, like, Walmart, Target, some sort of like store that has an electronic or toy section, always go to the toy section. Always go there. Always go to the electronic section, because like I grew up enjoying comic books, because
Gotta find your Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers.
yeah. So always enjoyed comic books. This is a little whatever, just one comic book that I have. Collected toys, kept them in the box. Always enjoyed like playing video games with my friends and stuff like that, because like that was just like the thing we did. And as we've gotten older, obviously the graphics have gotten a lot better. And ever since I've seen the PlayStation 5, I'm like, dude, this shit is so cool. But like,
Yeah.
I just haven't taken the time to like really like invest in trying to buy one. But
Well,
yeah,
it's hard to find them. You can't find them. So,
yeah.
do you know our story about how we got the PlayStation, the PS5?
You told me, but I don't remember. But let the people know.
Let them know. So Mercedes actually went. She had been on these websites on PlayStation Direct, PlayStation.com. Well, she's been all over these websites to try to find them, to know when they were releasing, because this was when the first initially came out. So they were only selling 9 million. They're only releasing 9 million for the first shipment. And so we went. She found out that they were at Walmart in Daytona. So we went to Daytona on a Monday night, because they were saying that they were releasing them on Tuesday morning at 6 a.m. I'm like, we got things to do in life rather than be up at 6 a.m. to look for a PlayStation. So Monday night we go and we're like, hey, we'll just go check on it, see if they have any. And as we arrive, we walk back in the back of the electronics section, and there's a guy that's just arguing with the customer, with one of the representatives or the associates. And the guy was actually on the phone with corporate Walmart, with the corporate office of Walmart. complaining that they had PlayStation 5s in stock, but they told them that they couldn't sell them. So what ended up happening was we were the second people online, and they eventually were like, all right, we have 10 in stock. And the rule was they had to sell those because they had them in stock. They had to sell them. They couldn't wait till the next morning. And so they literally only had 10 in stock. We're second in line. So we're standing in line and they start handing them out. And we're like, you know what? Mercedes was like, I'm going to get one for my company to do like a raffle. I was like, that's really cool. And then she was going to get one for somebody else because at the time we were just, we didn't have enough money to go out and do all that stuff.
Yeah.
We had other things to worry about. We ended up buying 2 of them. And for that Christmas, come to find out, on Christmas Day, one of them actually ended up being mine. And it was one of the coolest experiences. And she ended up raffling off the other one, which was really cool. So, but that's how I ended up getting it. And then a year later, they are still struggling trying to get those issued out and put in stock because they're constantly, when they drop them, people are just instantly buying them. So I think even up to today, they are very hard to get hands on. So do you know, have you looked into it? Have you tried to find any that were in stock?
No.
That's
Just
what I'm saying. It's tough.
I just show up to the store and if they don't have one, I'm like, oh well, I guess they don't have any. So I don't look.
Yeah. So and I don't know why, but the PlayStation 4s, they made 31 million to launch, and for PlayStation 5s only made 9. So maybe it had to do with the shortage of chips, maybe, but it was kind of it's just bizarre just how they're still 2 years later, 2 years into it, that they're still struggling to try to get them sold or get hands on.
Yeah.
But I do admit I would recommend it. You still get your favorite game. What is your favorite game?
I mean,
Rocket League.
Exactly.
Rocket League.
Yes.
Which is really fun. So yeah, you have to, if you ever get the chance and you want one and you got one that's like hands-on, I recommend it.
Yes, sir. Are you drinking anything else or are you done?
No, I'm done right now. I've still got a little bit left.
You just said you're done. You don't have anything else. You're lying.
That literally just ended it right there. So that's all I've got left. Is none.
Goddamn, son. Well, all right. Well, I guess we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up right here. This is the longest episode of Let's Have a Sip. So until next time, y'all. Peace.